Did you guys know that there's 3 really rare paintings in the Elder Scrolls Online that are worth 10 million gold each? Basically meaning if you find one of these, you're pretty much set for a very long time in this game without having to make any more money. So the items I'm referring to here are the Velothi triptychs. If you don't know what these are 3 really rare paintings that look very good and are from an extremely rare source, okay? So these paintings are basically 3 different panels, okay? So the middle panel is quite large with 2 smaller panels on each side, which all make up the same painting, and they have a nice little golden border. So these are known as the rarest paintings in the game, and that's why they're so expensive. Another reason why they're so expensive is due to how you actually farm these, which would be you have to find them in a lockbox in Vardenfell. And I don't know if you guys have done any lockbox farming before in any other areas, but it's kind of tricky and it does take you a little while to find anything. Plus the drop rate of these items aren't confirmed by the developers, but trust me, they're pretty low. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you exactly where to farm them, all the setup you're going to need to farm them in the most efficient way, and what to do if you actually do find one. So just quickly interrupting the video, guys, to talk about my Christmas giveaway in ESO. So I'm going to be giving away 3 million gold to one of my subscribers from Xbox EU. All you have to do is to leave your name in the comment section below any of my videos and just make sure you're subscribed, and I'm going to do the draw at some point on Boxing Day just to let you guys know who the winner is, okay? So good luck in winning that one, and I'll see you in the rest of the video. So first things first, let's jump into the setup of this one. So what we're going to need to do here is level up our legend main skill line, alright? Now the reason behind this mainly is for the locksmith passive, okay? So we're going to be picking a lot of locks initially to get into some of the houses. Spoiler alert, we're going to have to break into some houses in order to find these lockboxes. And we're also going to have to open quite a lot of lockboxes, which can be up to advanced and even maybe master. So we're going to want to be able to force the locks instead of having to manually pick them all, because that can be quite annoying and time consuming, alright? We'd also use things like kickback just to reduce our bounty when we get caught by guards or we get seen whenever we're stealing, just because basically you're going to get caught every now and again, and you might as well reduce that just with some passive points there. And I would also use improved hiding, just lets you sneak for a lot longer. Now something else that I'd really recommend is having the Dark Brotherhood Blade of Woe. Now you really don't have to do much leveling in the Dark Brotherhood, like mine is literally level 1. I've just started the quest, which means that basically I can get the Blade of Woe and assassinate people from behind whenever I am in sneak. All that does is just basically means whenever you're in someone's house and you don't want to get caught, get a bounty, anything like that, you just sneak up behind him and you can kind of kill them with that. And yeah, you don't get a bounty or anything, and no one finds you. So getting into our medium armor, we want to be looking at slotting our 2 passive points into improved sneak and then wearing every piece of medium armor. Now the reason for this is it's going to reduce your detection circle, alright? And that's pretty much what we're trying to do here. So again, as I kind of mentioned, we're going to be in some houses, some areas we're not meant to be in. We will get a bounty if we're seen, so minimizing your detection circle is actually quite a big benefit here. And it also reduces the cost of sneak, so you can be sneaking around a little bit more. So in terms of champion points, there are quite a lot here. Now all of this is just to enhance this. You don't need any of these champion points to actually find the paintings by any means. None of these are going to get you 2 paintings. It's just some stuff that's going to get you some more passive money and make things a little bit easier, alright? So the first one is Gilded Fingers. Put all your passives in there because that's going to get you 10% extra gold. You then move up to Fortune's Favor, which gets you an additional 50% gold from all your lockboxes. I would then slot Friends in Low Places. It basically means every single day, if you've been thieving and you've been caught and you've got a bounty, 1,000 gold of that's going to be taken away at the end of the day. Out of Sight basically reduces your detection circle while sneaking, which is really, really helpful for what we were doing, because we will be sneaking and we'll be trying not to get detected. We're going to use Fleet Phantom as well. Basically just reduces the movement speed penalty of sneak, so we can move a lot faster there whenever we are actually sneaking around, just making this route a little bit more efficient. You're also going to want to have Infamous, because you're going to pick up a lot of different stolen loots you can get here. So you can get like blue, purple, green versions of little loot things to sell to fences, and you might as well get the extra 25% value for those. I like to slot Shadow Strike, but again optional. But basically whenever you use the Blade of Woe, it turns you invisible right after you assassinate someone, so you can get away and no one else is going to see it. Now it's not too necessary, because whenever we're assassinating in these areas, generally there's no one else around, but pretty helpful little passive to have generally. So it then also put 50 points in the Sustaining Shadows. It just reduces the cost of sneak by 1% per stage, so 50% in total if you max it out. Just basically means, again, you can just sneak around the whole time and you're not really running out of stamina. All you're going to need now then is to get a couple of lockpicks. Now you can buy 200 lockpicks for like 7,000 coins on Guild Traders, and it's really not that expensive, not that big of an investment, so I would just go and get those. And I'm sure you actually probably have thousands of these lying around because you get them from all random sources. So what we're going to do now is go over the actual farming routes. So there are 2 different routes I'd recommend. Obviously you can go and Google every single lockbox in Vardenfell and make your own route and do whatever you want that way. It's absolutely fine, but I find that going to these 2 cities and doing it in this order is the easiest for me, and it also interacts well with the reset timings. So the first town we're going to visit is Guinness. Now, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I'm just going to roll with it because it looks like that's how you say it, alright? So the first house we're going to go into is Drivim's house, and there should be a lockbox on the bedstand to the left, okay? Now, if you go to any of these locations and there is no lockbox, okay, it doesn't mean that it's not basically a working location where one can spawn. It just means one didn't spawn this time. Much the same as like any kind of chest you see in the overland. There's a lot of spots where they could be, but they're not always there, right? So once you've gone to that house, you want to come out and go to the resting Cromwell, and there should be one right behind the bar, alright? And from there we want to go to Romarin's house, and there should be one inside the kitchen, and there should be one in the basement, and this is where you can use your Blade of Woe on any of these guys here, just to make it so you don't get caught. But you can also generally have a peek and see if there's a lockbox if I haven't interacted with them. So we're then going to go to Lafdar's house, and there should be one at the foot of the bed. And then finally for this time, we should go to Shandasi's house, and there should be one on the bedstand to the left, alright? So once you finish that little loop, what I would do is then travel to Cedrith Mora, and there's another little route of safe boxes I'd be hitting in this particular order. So I would go to Tel Naga, which is the big sort of central pillar, and on the balcony of the first level, just to the right of the Mystic Station, there should be one tucked away. And then if you go back to the ground floor, on the table just right of the Enchanting Station, there should be another one. Then there should be 2 in the Adept's Hall, so one of them should be in the reading room to the left, and the other one should be sort of in the reading room to the right center, alright? So from there, we want to go to Nilvan's house, and there should be one in their bedroom on a dresser. From here, we want to go to Givwin Tower, and on the right, near Sentry Valenia's patrol spot, there should be another one. There should also be one in the basement in a kind of alcove in the back right hand side, but it's kind of a little bit tricky to find, but you will find it because it's like literally the only place you can go into. So after that, you want to go to the Gateway Inn, and there should be one just behind the counter again. From here, we're going to Banda's house. There should be one on the 2nd level just next to the bedstand, and then also one on the ground floor just between the little set of steps and the bookshelf. So that is every single one that I would recommend you guys hitting for farming this. What I would do, okay, is I would then just sort of go back to the first area and go through them all again, okay? So basically this route should take you more than 10 minutes. If you're for some reason really fast, feel free to add some more onto your journey. But I'd find this would take me about 10 minutes to get through everywhere while sneaking and whatnot, not getting caught. And generally it takes around 5 to 10 minutes for safe boxes to respawn. Now, that's not officially confirmed by developers. I love them if they confirm this sort of thing, but generally I find every 5 to 10 minutes lockboxes will respawn, and especially in areas where you have went before and there wasn't one, there could now be one because of the reset timers. There's actually another way that you can find this item, and it's actually probably a little bit more likely, okay? So just based on what the item is and where you find it and how you find it, it's pretty reasonable to assume that a new player or someone who doesn't know too much about the value of items might find one of these while just questing in the area. And the way you'd find it is that they would maybe list it on a guild trader for quite a low price. And I think that's quite likely. And it's just something I would add to your little list of things to check. So for example, I always be checking for these kind of high priced items, things like this, things like that little mushroom that's worth 120 million coins. You know, I would just be doing a quick trader run every day around the top couple of cities. Let's just check if any of those are up, because basically if you do find it one day out of like 100, you've made quite a lot of money and it's been all worth your time. So yeah, just always keep an eye out in guild traders for these kind of things as well. Now, if you do happen to get one of these yourself, or you do happen to find it in a little obscure guild trader somewhere, I would recommend that you list it yourself in a Mournhold trading guild or one of the top 4 cities on your server. I'm sure you guys know what those are. The reason for it is that people don't tend to look for items in too many areas. I'm not going to go to all like 30 zones and look in every single guild trader for an item. I'm going to look in the main like 2 or 3 zones And if I don't see it, I'm not going to look any further. So do keep that in mind and do try and make sure you're in a decent guild for selling, alright? So if you guys like this video and you had an interest in some really rare items, some high value items, maybe you'll like this video here where I show you guys how to get 120 million gold just by securing one little mushroom.